Welcome to the Helix webinar series. Today's session is on Service Collaborator, guiding learning experiences with BMC Helix GPT, and it's a hands-on agent workshop we're covering today. Joining me is Rod Harris, our lead customer success specialist, who will be running the session today. And additionally joining him, we have a set of panelists that will be answering your questions. So before I hand over to Rod, just a couple of reminders. There is the Q&A section of Zoom, which you'll find at the bottom of your screen. If you have any questions during this session, which will be slides and demo, please put your questions in there and the team will answer those during the actual session. And then we will have roughly 15 to 20 minutes at the end where we'll take some of your questions live. Until that time, you'll remain muted just so we can get through the content today. So the other thing to mention as well, we will be launching 2 polls. So I'll be starting the first one very shortly when Rod does his introduction. And then we will have one closer to the end where we will just ask you another set of questions. The reason for doing this is some of you may be at different times or parts of your journey. We want to make sure that you get the support that you need. So if you can spend a few minutes while you're on this session today to answer those questions, and then we will follow up with you individually if you need any assistance. So without further ado, Rod, I'm going to hand over to you to do your formal introduction and get us started today.
Right. Thanks, Sam. I hope everyone can hear me. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We're going to be running the session today. It's a hands-on workshop for BMC Helix Service Collaborator. I'm part of the Helix Adoption Advisor team here at BMC. Just wondering, I might switch off my camera if that's all right, Sam, so that I can save some bandwidth all the way over in Australia.
Of course you can.
Great. Okay. So I'm going to guide you through configuring Service Collaborator for ITSM, and there's a lot to cover. So let's get stuck into it. So just a brief introduction there. So the structure of the session is that we're going to talk about the structure of the workshop and the goals, what you're going to achieve by it, and then we're going to go in and talk about Service Collaborator itself. Then there'll be a hands-on workshop. I'll show you step by step how to configure the service, all the bits of HelixGPT, and then I might even show you some of it in action if we have time, which I'm sure we will actually. So why are we here today? So we're going to configure HelixGPT. We're going to be using Innovation Studio, HelixGPT Agent Studio, ITSM itself, and the mid-tier. We may want you to have some copy and paste. So if you've got, depending on how you work, you may want to have Notepad handy. And we also have a team of experts online on this session, ready to answer questions. So I won't be answering questions myself. I don't want to be distracted. So, you can, there's an interactive Q&A section, and people will be able to answer your questions through that. So now what if you get stuck? I hope that doesn't happen, but if it does, don't worry. We'll, the questions will be answered quickly. I can't go back. I'll keep going. When we're done for today, I hope that I can leave the session knowing that all of you are going back to your organizations with a fully functional Service Collaborator running on ITSM. And I hope as well, if that doesn't happen, you've got enough knowledge to know how to get there. And you can, we actually will be able to offer you one-on-one sessions, as your success is really important to us. So there are some prereqs if you're following along. I'm going to be showing you Service Management, Helix Service Management 25.3. You need to be using Progressive Web Apps. That's our new graphical user interface. You're going to need to have admin permission in Innovation Studio and HelixGPT. Our HelixGPT requires you to have a large language model subscription. Currently, it's a sort of a bring your own model. You need to have a subscription to either Azure OpenAI GPT 4.1, Google Gemini 2.0 Flash, or Llama 4, Meta Llama 4. When you get that subscription, they'll give you an endpoint URL and an API key. We'll show you where to put that in the system. And then, yeah, with all of that, you should be good to go. Okay, what is Service Collaborator? It's a HelixGPT-driven assistant within BMC Helix that's transforming how service teams work together and resolve issues faster. Imagine a system that not only understands what users are asking for, but also helps agents respond more effectively with the right information at the right time. That's what Service Collaborator does. It's like a smart teammate, always listening, learning, and suggesting helpful actions. So instead of scrolling through endless lists of tickets and incidents, just simply ask it a question and the Service Collaborator will present the right answers instantly. For service desk agents working on solving incidents, it's like having a trusted advisor. It suggests responses, offers resolution steps, and even can draft solutions based on similar past cases. This means, heaps less time searching, less guesswork, and more confidence in every reply. When it comes to resolving incidents, this system doesn't just assist, it can actually do the work for us by generating complete resolution notes, helping support teams close tickets faster and with better accuracy. In short, Service Collaborator helps teams work smarter, respond quicker, and deliver better service, all while reducing manual effort and improving consistency. It's not just another tool, it's a game changer for support teams. And if you're a service desk agent, it's going to be your new best friend in Helix ITSM. It's pretty amazing, really, having used it a fair bit lately. Okay, next slide. So let's talk about, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's talk about what we're going to be doing. Configuration of Service Collaborator that we will display is done in 3 steps, right? So there's the models, data sources, and data ingestion. So we're going to be doing set up some data sources. So the large language model has some data to work with, some ticket information, knowledge information. So we're using some out-of-the-box data sources, more specifically the data source for Helix ITSM knowledge management, we commonly known as RKM or Remedy Knowledge Management, good old Remedy. So that's what most customers still use, RKM. We'll also be using data from ITSM, so ticketing information, so incident information, incident history. So once we ingest some data, then we can build skills, and then we can create agents. Okay, next slide. So skills, what are skills? Skills can either be based on prompts, so large language model prompts, or they can be agent-based skills, which also have prompts, but they have a set of tools within them. A skill can have one or many prompts. That can be a prompt-based skill. A skill can also use an agent, a so-called agent-based skill. A prompt-based skill has at least one prompt with an explicit phrase or a clear instruction for how to carry out a task. For an example, how answers are returned and what sources to use to return those answers. An agent-based skill, on the other hand, does not have a prompt. It acts autonomously and uses one or multiple tools to carry out certain tasks. The tools are passive, they don't make any decisions. It's the agent itself that decides what tools to use, depending on the input from the user. This makes agent-based skills more structured and allows them to handle multi-turn conversations. So we're going to be doing both prompts and agent-based skills today as part of this. Just a sec. Yeah, so we've just covered that. So that's a bit of information about prompt versus agent. So what happens is HelixGPT comes with a whole lot of configuration built in, what we call seed data, seed configuration. They'll be used in this session as a basis to build your own skills. So they're kind of like templates. So we don't adjust those ones directly because you'll need to preserve those for future. And they're the things that when we add functionality to the tool, we'll update those. And, when you're creating new ones, they'll inherit from those updates. So, and you'll always want to be able to tweak them and change them a little bit subtly, change the prompts, change the parameters, that sort of thing. So, okay. So once we've got these new skills set up, these are the 4 sort of use cases within ITSM where we'll be using those skills. So we have agentic chat. So you'll be able to talk to an agent, ask it lots of questions around your incidents and your knowledge. There's a feature to summarize incidents. It's got a really efficient way to generate a summary of an incident, explaining what's happened to it and where it's at. There's also resolutions summary. So it can actually automatically generate resolution text based on all the work log entries and all the things that happened to that incident. So we'll get down and look at all that stuff once we've all configured it all. So now, without further ado, I think we might be almost up to the bit where we have to do config. Okay, so that's the end of the pack. I'm just going to
While you're doing that, Rod, just a quick one. I will be sending out, just in case people don't have the configuration guide, I will send that out from email very shortly. I'm just in the process of doing that right now.
Okay, so I hope everyone's familiar with this screen. This is the Helix portal. This is a one-stop shop to get to all the different Helix applications. Okay, so here we are. We're in the Helix portal. A lot of stuff is done we're going to be using Helix ITSM and Helix Innovation Suite. So, okay, if this is 10 seconds, we have to wait. I prefer to click here. Takes slightly less time. All right, so this is Innovation Studio. The main app we're going to be using today is called HelixGPT Studio. Did have a previous name before, but it's now called HelixGPT Studio. I'll go to the config for that first. So if you visit deployed application, it'll take to the application screens. So we have, we talked about skills, we talked about agents, and we talked about tools. And then we have config. So we need to make sure our connectors are okay. This is where your large language models are. And this is where your information sources are. We'll come back to that in a minute. So going back to GPT Agent Studio, now we're going to need to set up some data jobs to collect data for the agents to use or the skills to use. So the first thing we're going to do is find the data connection jobs. So I tend to do this and kick those off because they can take some time. So it's best to do that at the start of the session. So we've got 3 things that respond to that. We've got data connection jobs here. So we'll have to set up some data connection jobs. Let's have a look at the data within the data connection jobs. All right, so these are the jobs that we've got running. We need to create some new jobs. We need to ingest data from both knowledge, RKM, and also from ITSM. So what we do here, now
Excuse me, Ron.
actually we need to,
we are seeing a very much delay in screen sharing. We have just seen the Innovation Studio.
All right, sorry, I'll go really slow. I think I'll just have to go really slow.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, where am I here?
Rod, just be there because now I think we are going to HelixGPT application now.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Now we see the application and now you can go ahead and showcase where you move from there.
Okay, can you see? All right, so I'm in HelixGPT Agent Studio now.
That's right. You are in the HelixGPT Agent Studio
Okay.
and you have reached out to settings page now.
Right. Oh, settings. I've gone to skills.
No. Right now it's AI service provider selected.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, now you have reached to information sources. And you have again got to HelixGPT Agent Studio.
Yeah.
Records.
Yeah.
All right. So have I got the skills listed?
No.
Not yet.
Oh no, this is very delayed, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
All right, oh well, this means it'll be really slow, won't it? Okay, let's soldier on. Okay. So anyway, going back, can you see?
Now we see the data editor record.
All right, I've gone to
Yeah.
information sources now under tools. Is that all right? Can you see them?
Information sources. Now we can see.
Beautiful. Okay, all right.
Again, you clicked
Cool.
on a skills.
Oh, gee, it's so delayed. Wonder if it's a round trip to the UK.
I don't know if, and I guess this is a call out to the team, someone that's already done the demo. Is there anyone that wants to pull it up and Rod can narrate it? Just wondering, because there is quite a lag. I didn't realise how bad it was, Rod.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's someone else that's got the demo available that they can do. I'm just trying to look at possible solutions because it is very slow.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, isn't it? We'll try and soldier on a little, if you like. It seems to be like 30 seconds or more.
Mm-hmm. Well, on a plus point, if we've got to get them to type in anything, they can at least see it.
Yeah. So can you see? We'll go really slow, maybe, if no one else wants to take over. Can you see information sources?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've clicked on visible columns and I've added ID. Did you see that?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So what we're doing here is we're going to pick out 2 information sources that we're going to use to provide data to our skills. So there's the 2 we care about today, our Helix Knowledge Management Connection, the second one, and Helix ITSM connection. Actually, it's the third one. Sorry, it was knowledge management. Helix ITSM knowledge management connection and Helix ITSM connection. So starting with knowledge management connection, I'm going to double click and copy the ID. Everyone see that?
Yes.
I'm going to flip across to another screen. Everyone see that? I've got the data connection job screen, which is part of HelixGPT Studio. Everyone see that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to create a new job. Just let me know, Sam, when you see my screen change.
I will. I'll step in if we're not following you. I'll let you know. It's okay at the moment.
Okay. Right. So we're going to create a new data connection to grab data out of knowledge management. So the ID I've just grabbed is the connection ID. I'm going to call this RKM, data source. And I'm going to click on execute now so that it gets executed straight away and kick off the ingestion of the data. This is ingesting data from RKM. Okay, so I hit save. So there's just the 3 updates. Oh, I'll need to give it a description as well. Whoops. All right, so I hit save. And that should kick off the job. Now go back to the other screen. And again, I've got to do a similar thing for ITSM. So I'm going to grab the ID. Okay, back to the other page. You see that? Click new. Data source, ITSM. Just ITSM. Okay. I've got a prefix of all my jobs as just be WSR, workshop rod. This particular one, you can use the modified since, and if you've got large amounts of data for ITSM that you don't really want to look at all of it, takes a while, maybe for capacity purposes, you can just you can change the modified since. So for us, we'll go back to, say, June the 1st. Pick a date. Obviously, you press the execute now, then hit save. Can you see my screen? Can you see the data editor for the second job?
Yeah, we
See
now
all the values?
see
Yes.
new
Yeah.
record and WSR ingest
Okay.
ITSM data.
Thank you, Surin. Okay, so you can see that there's 4 fields I've updated. Actually 5 if you count modified since. And now I'm going to hit save. So that'll kick off that job. So if you want to make sure it works, then there's another form. Just close out of that form. That'll show you the progress and show you there'll be rows in a table created. So if we search for data, okay. You see there's three rows or 3 tables or records. I've highlighted data connection job step. Okay, I'm going to go edit data. Now, you can see that there's no errors, or mostly no errors in the data. So you've got 2 kinds of data sources, all fairly current, ITSM and RKM. So that means our data connection jobs are working. So can everyone see the screen just showing that they're working? It's 1:55 p.m. in Perth. So I've just sorted on create date.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Okay, thanks. Right. So that's a data connection job step completed. So now we move on to setting up our skills. So going back here, let's look at the skills. Right, I'll get to ITSM and then I'll pause. See the list of skills now? Part of ITSM?
Yep.
Okay. You can see there's 4 that are grayed out. These are the seeded skills. So these are the templates. You won't be able to edit these, but you can use them as a base and that's what we'll be doing today. So the first one is agent global context. That's an agent-based skill, and the 3 below it are prompt-based skills. So let's have a look at it. Let's just click on it. Sorry. Actually, let's not click on it. Here it is. Yeah, it's already on the right there. You can see what's in it. So it's got the model Azure OpenAI GPT 4.1. It's got then the first one, agent global context. It's now linked to an agent. So there's a long list of agents, and the one that it's linked to will be highlighted. In this case, it's ITSM agent. Okay. So we're going to create one similar to this first. Moving back along, you'll see it has search settings as well. It's searching ITSM knowledge management as it's to provide the information. Okay. So let's go and create a new skill based on this one. So clicking on the add skill. Okay. So we're going to give our new skill the prefix that we talked about, WSR. It's going to be agent in global. We'll keep the same naming convention for the rest, so we don't get confused. It's type regular. Provider is Azure OpenAI. And the most recent provider is this one here. And this user context process definition, we just leave blank. And this is now an agent-based skill, so you're going to pick that. So we're going to create a new one. It should appear at the bottom here. Everyone see me adding a skill? About to click add.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, there it is. It's popped up. So now I'll move to it. And it's the right-hand pane has now got information around this skill. Okay. So we now then need to link it to an agent. When we create it. So there's its search settings. Let's apply it to that one. Okay. All right. Let's go. So we actually we've got the skill, so we need to actually apply an agent to it. So we're going to replicate the existing agent for ITSM agent. So you can see the agent. Can everyone see that I've picked BMC ITSM agent?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's got the BMC ITSM agent has 4 tools. Uses this Azure OpenAI model that we're using, 4.1. Has 4 tools: MFS tool, knowledge tool, ITSM, and foundation. It has a prompt or instructions. And so that's what the agent consists of. So we're going to replicate that agent and make our own version. Right. So what we do, so we've got this agent down here. We can copy the instructions, copy and paste. So we go to this one and we paste it in. Just a sec. Here. And we'd select the right tools. So I'll just show you what to do. We need MFS tool, ITSM, foundation, and knowledge. All right. Yeah, so there we are. We've got our new agent. So I'll hit save. Okay. So it's called WSR ITSM agent. Oops. It's got 4 tools, instructions, model. So it's ready to go. So this is where we link it to the new skill that we created before. Okay. Repeat that step again. Right, there it is, right down the bottom. WSR ITSM agent, the new one that we created. And we just click apply. Okay. Just make sure the search settings are okay. You need that. So ITSM, knowledge management. For this case, in this case, ITSM and ITSM knowledge management, what we need. Okay. All right, so that's the skill for the agent-based skill. Now we've got 3 others to create. So I'll try and do that quickly. Although there's a limit to how quick I can go. So let's look at the second, the prompt-based one. Okay. So I've just gone to it. Let's just wait till it catches up so you can see where I've gone to. So this is the seeded version. You'll see that there's 4 prompts that make up this particular agent. So we're going to replicate those. These, as I said, these are the seeded ones. We can't change them. You'll see that there's one, you have to have a starter prompt. Every single prompt-based agent has to have a starter prompt, and then there's optional, or not optional, there's, depending on what it's trying to do, there'll be other prompts for it to carry out its tasks. So if we can actually go in there and see, let's see. So I've just viewed Incident Agent Assist, the prompt, the ITSM router prompt, the default prompt. Can everyone see that?
It's come through.
Okay, that's good. All right, I'll sort of talk through it, I guess. So maybe make it a little bit quicker. So let's go and add a skill, which will be a placeholder for this new version of it. So again, we're going to call it WSR, and it's going to be called Agent Assist Conversation. Okay, open Azure. This one here, this is now a prompt instruction type. So, using the prompt, the prefix, it should pop down the bottom next to the other one. So there it is. So this is a new one I've just created. So looking at that, highlighting that one. Oops, the wrong one. You see it's empty. Looks like the default, these are a set of default searches. Whenever you create a new agent, it defaults to those. So just making sure you pick the right settings and make it the same as the one that it's based on. So anyway, agent assist conversation. I've now created a new skill, and now we need to put some prompts in. So let's go back to the original one. We're going to copy the prompts as opposed to creating them from scratch. So I'll highlight the one we're basing it on, agent assist conversation. Go in there. So here it is. Here's the prompt. So we just grab the first prompt. So what we need to do, there's a button for copying. Make it easier. So we just copy that. And then you have to give it a new name. If you just leave it the same, it will save it as the same name and it'll have a conflict. So you need to give it a new name. So we're putting the WSR in front of it. And now we're picking where we want the prompt to be saved to. So this one's going to be WSR agent assist conversation, right down the bottom there. So we're going to copy that to the new skill that we created. I think I've already used this. Okay, that's an example of what can go wrong. So let's go and have a look. Just make sure it's there. Right. Oops, wrong one. So now you'll see. There it is there. There's a new prompt. You can have a look. Just like that. This one's going to be a starter prompt. So you edit it and then click on the starter prompt on the left. Can everyone see that I've clicked on that? Okay, I'm hitting save. Okay, I'll do the same for the others. I'll do this quickly. You got the idea, right? Let's not wait for the screen to catch up. So I'm going to do the greetings one now. And the next one, ITSM Knowledge Enterprise prompt. Copy. And the last one, summarization prompt. Okay, copy. Okay. All right, let's go and have a look, make sure they're all good. So here we are. Okay. So I've got the new skill, the prompt-based one, the most complicated one. It's called WSR Agent Assist Conversation. You now can see that there's 4 prompts. Just open them up for you. All just created afresh. So that's what you'll have to do. You'll have to do that before you can start using GPT. Okay, so that's that skill skill added. So there's 2 more. I'll go through this fairly fast because of the screen lag issue. And I'll just talk you through it. So the 3rd skill is Incident Agent Assist Resolution. Right, we're going to create a version of that. I'm just going to add skill. WSR. And it's called Incident Agent Assist Resolution. Regular provider. Your OpenAI. Last user context. Okay, and this is prompts. Add. Once gone to the bottom. So we do the same process again where we replicate the prompts. I think there's less this time. So copy that prompt. Give it a new name. It's called WSR Incident Agent Assist Resolution. Okay. Copy that. Check that it's done. Okay. As you can see, well, I hope you can see, there's a new prompt, but there's no starter prompt, so we'd have to go and edit that and make sure it's flagged as a starter prompt. Okay. One more to do. This is incident resolution generation. Just the one prompt. So we're going to add a skill, which is incident resolution generation, the new version. So prompt based. I'll pause for a sec just so you see what I'm typing in. Okay, final skill. Now press add. Success. So moving back up to the top, incident resolution generation, highlight the seeded one. Again, we copy the prompt. Incident resolution generation. Give it a new number, name, prefix. Okay. There it goes. Okay. Here we are. So this one again needs to be made a starter prompt. So we edit that. So there's your prompt. I imagine that you can, if you don't like the prompts that we provide, that this is a place where you can actually tweak them a little if you know what you're doing. So let's hit save. So that marks the end of all the skills. We now have a set of 4 new skills that are based on the out-of-the-box ones and that are free. When you upgrade, they won't be affected. They'll still keep working. But what you need to do now, of course, is they're still not connected to ITSM. So there's now a step where we have to go and connect those 4 new skills to get them to actually do some work. So we've gathered data, we've configured the skills, and the last step is to now update ITSM config to get them to use the new skills we've created. So one thing you need to check is to make sure that your ITSM is configured for HelixGPT. There's a couple of central configuration settings we need to look at to make sure they're good to go. So the place to do that is to go in our environments we have a link, but you may have a different way to get there. So I'm just going to go straight to admin ITSM application settings in the mid-tier. So you go to AR System Admin Console, under AR System Admin, System General, Centralized Config. I'll pause now once I bring the screen up. Right, so everyone see that? So we've got to go down now and find and check just to make sure that the HelixGPT settings are now active. So if we scroll down, I hope you can read it. There's something called Enable HelixGPT Global Chat. That needs to be true. Obviously, we've used this environment before, so it's already been set to true. And then the other thing that needs to happen, both these settings got GPT in, is HelixGPT Global Search default mode. Mine had it set to default, then you need to change it to chat. And then you hit apply. And those settings should take effect immediately. So they're the config settings. Now there's one more place we need to update, and that is we need to use the IDs of the new agents and apply those IDs into ITSM itself. So going back, let's go back into Innovation Studio. Right. You can use the application launcher to find the ITSM config application. So there's something called ITSM application. You can get to it through the workspace, or you can go use the top right corner. Slightly quicker on the top right. Okay, so it's not an actual application with screens on front. It's more of a config application. So you've got the cogged wheel at the top, so you can change settings within ITSM. So there's one that we're interested in called HelixGPT configuration. I'll just pause now so you can see. Right, so these are all sort of placeholders or the openings for ITSM to start taking advantage of skills and large language models. The way it's linked to a particular skill is via the skill ID. So there's a column there which has the skill number, the GUID. So in this case, we've got 6 different places where we've linked, we need to link our skill. So the global chat at the top, that is for the global, where are we? Here we go. Agent in global context. That particular skill that's the place where you apply that. So I've just changed screens back to GPT Agent Studio. Can you see that? I'm going to grab the ID from the column on the left. If I just double click it, and it highlights it, and I just hit copy. All right, so I've grabbed the ID, and then I'm going to go back to GPT configuration. I'm going to find global chat. And I'm going to change the skill ID there. Right, just highlighted it. And I'm going to hit save. Okay.
Or just maybe just wait for maybe 5 seconds here. We are all getting there.
Yeah,
just
okay. No worries. So we do that. You see what I did?
Yeah, we are on that model, and we see you have copied that ID and now going to put it.
Okay. So yeah, it's awkward, isn't it? This is all sort of flipping between screens.
Yeah.
So you get the idea, right? I've got, so there's 2 conversation configuration rows here, incident conversation. So those use the prompt for the agent. Which one is it? They use the conversation skill, right? Which is this one here, 4th from the bottom in my case. So I double click that, copy that. All right, have you caught up? Back at Agent Studio. Okay. So conversations, there's 2 of them. So the same skill is used by 2 in 2 different places. So clicking on here, and just put that in there. And hit save. Okay. Just cancel out. Right. So in the interest of time, maybe I should skip ahead now and then show it to you working in action. How does that sound? Since we've sort of taken so long. So I'll just summarize. So assist resolution, the IDs from assist resolution, they go into the 2 resolution items here, the 2 use cases for resolution. You would apply those IDs to those. And resolution generation goes to the bottom one, the resolution note, right? So it's already been done in this environment, so we'll be able to test it without having to do that. So let's skip ahead now. Let's show it to you in action, shall we? Yeah, let's bring up ITSM. So you get to it from the search. The search has been changed now. So instead of the old-fashioned search, it's just keyword search. It's now an interactive chat based search. So I can ask it about my knowledge articles. I think one example I know we don't have a huge number of knowledge articles in this environment. It's a demo environment, but we do have some articles around VPN. So how about okay, I'll just hit that. I've just typed in, is there a step-by-step guide to troubleshooting VPN issues? And it's come back and it said, yeah, there is. Here's a step-by-step guide. It tells you it gives you a list of its sources, so you know whether to trust it or not. So you can click there and find out about the sources. You know, maybe it's a source you don't trust. Obviously, this is coming from knowledge articles, so hopefully they would be trustworthy. They're your own knowledge articles. We've seeded it with data coming from our environment, so you know it's going to work. You'll see in the bottom right there's a 1 of 10. Basically, you can ask questions around the response you've just got. As you know how large language models work, they'll provide, previous questions can provide context to later questions and answers. So they'll, you'll know where it's up to. And we have a limit at the moment of 10 before they're forced to start a new thread. So if I click on the bottom left corner of the box, then it will start a new topic. So let's start a new topic here. And I could say things like, show me my open incidents. So not only does it look at knowledge, it can look at actual ITSM data, live ITSM data. See, here it goes. You can see it streaming it out for you. Little note, cancelled instance are not shown. So it gives you priority, status, summary, and then there's a link you can click to take you straight there. We can ask it to summarize an incident, for instance. So it's pretty forgiving in terms of spelling and so on. So I've said incident 314. It's just not that pedantic. It knows in that list there was only one that has 314 in it, or ending in 314. So it's provided me with that. And then I might be able to say things like, let's see if this works. Okay, so there's our VPN steps. So maybe I'm an incident manager, and I'm interested, someone's complaining or whatever, and I need to find out all about their incidents so I can get back to them. Open incidents from customer Corey Cooper. Here we go. There you go. Corey Cooper's got a few incidents. No wonder he's calling us. I can go show me team assigned. I hope this is keeping up fairly well with you guys. I'm not sure. Show me team members. Show me team assigned, actually, to incident 314. You go, it's assigned to the application team. I can find out things like who's in that team. It knows all about ITSM, basically, all the foundation data. We've taught it to search that. There you go, there's a list. Now we can do some fancy stuff. Draft an email. So yeah, it's all very well to have answers to these questions, but how do you actually use them? Draft an email to the team asking why this incident is still open. Okay, here it goes. And gives you a template you can use. I don't know why, it should know who I am. I don't know why it's given a placeholder to that, so I'm going to amend that. The other thing that's missing here is it doesn't have a link to the ticket. So maybe that should be included. Capitalize that. Okay, so hopefully it's going to amend it so I can just copy it straight into my email. All right, so it's got a little link to view the incident now, and it's got my sign off as well, me being Liam Shea, Service Desk Manager. Okay, obviously we can work off not just incidents. This is ITSM, Service Collaborator, so it can work off change requests, other ticket information. So I can go show me all opened change requests. Just do this very quickly. All right. Okay. Now, large language models are pretty good at writing, summarizing things and getting to the point. So maybe, there's a lot of open incidents. Maybe we need, as a role as Service Desk Manager, maybe we need to get a handle on what's going on quickly without having to trawl through lots and lots of tickets. So let's go. Please list all critical issues. Let's start a new topic for this, actually. All right, just getting close to the end of our 10. So let's go with please list all critical issues. Okay. So we've got a lot of critical issues. It's hard to work out what's going on there. How about we group these into common themes and provide, summary of each theme. There you go. I'm seeing this quickly, but I guess for you guys it's slow. All right, it's come back with four groupings and a very concise summary for each one. Now, we can do even more in detail analysis of these. So for each of these themes, please, we have to be nice to it because it's doing so much of our work for us. Please provide an overview of the work done. It has access to the work logs, right? The work that has been done so far, an action plan, the next steps. Limit this to a few paragraphs. So the last one of these we'll do from the chat. But now you can see it's got action plans, it's got overview of actions taken. So it's looked at the work logs of the tickets and it knows what's going on. And this would be a really, really useful thing for a Service Desk Manager to be able to do. It looks like you really know your stuff without having to do much work. And then it's got, it's telling you where the information's come from, the sources. Okay, so I actually do want to show you the automatic resolution note feature. So I do know I did some work earlier today around generating a real problem I had. So I logged a ticket. So is there an instance? Let's start a new topic. I keep forgetting. Is there an incident? I can't remember what the number was, but surely HelixGPT will be able to tell me. It's relating to Adobe PDF links not working. Lo and behold, there is, and I can actually click into that. It's 330.316. So I'll pause for a second and let that incident display. I'm sure it's going to take a while to get to you on the other side of the world or whatever we're doing. So the incident is something I had recently where I printed a presentation to PDF and the links didn't work because of the way I was doing it. So I've logged a ticket to show that. You can see over on the right, there's quite an extensive work log. Ticket's been open for today. We can move to HelixGPT. There's no actual resources. Knowledge articles, this is something I made up today. But we've got some canned prompts here. So we could do a summarize activity logs. Some of the skills that we've taught it just earlier today. So it's just giving us a quick summary. A user reported that hyperlinks in PowerPoint do not work after exporting to PDF. Issue was assigned a high priority. It's in progress. Investigation revealed the user was creating PDFs via the print feature. Does not preserve hyperlinks. It's recommended to use the save as PDF feature instead. And there's a bit about licensing. We can use a feature here called Summarize Incident Ticket. So this is real data that I've put in today. So you can see it's working interactively. So again, it's giving us sort of a little bit more structured information. It's talked about how it was handled, was assigned to someone and then someone else. And there was an investigation that took place. You can click here and go straight, use the email integration, and it should sort of defaults to people associated with the incident itself. So it's assigned to Scott or Beth, I should say. It's actually Scott who was logged the ticket, but it was Beth who has assigned it. So depending on what your content is about, you may, depend on who you're sending it to. You can attach other files and add knowledge articles. I might do that now. So it looks like the investigation's already been done and it's ready to resolve. Looking at the activity log, Scott's already been told about the solution. So how about we move this to resolved? Let's see what happens. I think there might be some customer follow-up required. So here we've got a little link here, Ask HelixGPT. So if we click this button, it now should look at its knowledge, at its the work log, what's been done, and it's giving us a meaningful resolution note. It's saying summary Microsoft PowerPoint, Adobe Acrobat links not working, and it's saying when exporting your PowerPoint to ensure that you use the save as instead of the print. Okay, so there's the answer there. So you can click Ask HelixGPT. If you don't like that, you can click and ask it again. Just like, a large language model are amazing in the sense that they come up with a different answer if you ask it the same question multiple times. They'll all be right, but they'll be just a different way of doing it. So again, there'll be some subtle changes. You'll see it slightly differently worded each time. You can obviously free there. It's a free text field. You can add your own extra stuff in. So this is a great demonstration of GPT in action. Right, so we can now resolve that. Obviously, this sorts of information, having quality resolution notes and having a large language model know that this was an actual fix for an incident that actually occurred, that'll go into the knowledge base and make sure that it can be used in future. If anything comes along, it'll almost know the solution before anyone needs to investigate. That's the beauty of it all. I think I think maybe we've gone. I think maybe, Sam, do you think it's time for you to take over?
I think if you've covered everything that you've got, I mean, obviously there's been a lot of questions that have been answered. We don't actually have anything else opened. I'm going to share the second quiz very quickly. I'm going to do that, or poll. I don't know if the team want to sort of reiterate some of the questions that have come. Otherwise, what I will do in the interim is just start unmuting everyone so they can have a conversation with us. I don't know if there's anything else specifically that you wanted to mention, Rod, just with the call to action, because that's normally what we will cover, or if you want to bring up the slides, I think we've got a few at the end. Just to recap, do you want to pull those back up?
And let's pull those back up. Yeah, okay. So we've just tried it out. Okay. Did you want to see this slide? So
just a couple of reminders. Obviously, we're almost at the end of our roadshows. New York was last week. So for those that are up very early, like myself, we do still have Madrid and Frankfurt. I will share the links out with you if you want to sign up for those events. People do sign up quite late, but we've got 2 events next week. And then we've also got Mexico that will be our last one for the roadshows. Because at the end of the day, it's great that we can do things digitally, and it means that we can connect everyone together, even if there is a time lag and a time zone challenge. But what's even better is if you get the opportunity to meet with the product managers directly. I know, Kapil, you probably were at the Mumbai event. A lot of our product teams go there, and customer success. So if you can get to any of these roadshows, it will be highly helpful. And we also do lots of different BMC days out in your region. So that's probably the last thing I'll say on there. I think the next slide will put them in. Perfect. So the other thing, just to remind everyone, Gartner is really key to us, a bit like Forrester. So if you do ever get sent any surveys, we'd just ask if you can fill them in. This feedback doesn't directly go to BMC themselves or BMC Helix. This will go to Gartner. And if you're successful and it gets posted, some of you may have seen this at our roadshows, especially on the advocacy stands that I was either on or some of our colleagues. You don't need to scan it right now, but if you do want to fill that in and you're successful, you do get a gift card as well. So we'd really appreciate to get your feedback. And then I think the final slide is a call to action slide, if you want to pull that one up, or at least press it ready, and we'll see it in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And actually, while I'm waiting for that slide to come up, Rod, I'll just say to everyone, I did send out the collaborator guide. If you haven't received it because you've joined on someone else's link, if you can just put your name into the chat for me, I can get the download of who's actually attended. But sometimes if it's a shared link, I don't know, just drop me a message directly or put it into the Q&A for me, and I will send the guide out to you. So I'm pretty sure I've got it out to everyone today. Okay, so the last summary of this slide, we do have a workshop community page. So those that are familiar with BMC communities, those links that we've put in here, again, we'll be sharing out the slides, but there is 2 groups. One is to show you the calendar of all of the events coming up. So if when you signed up for this event, you didn't realize there was other options of different agents that you can pick, use the same link to register, and you'll see that you can select multiple sessions. We haven't limited you to how many sessions you go to. So please go back and have a look. Otherwise, if you go onto the calendar page of communities, you'll be able to see those sessions and sign up there. And then the other one is the workshop group. This is where we will be posting the blog post of all the questions that have come today and past sessions. It's also an opportunity for you to connect to this group. So if you do have any questions for the wider team, if you type in under the actual session in the comment section, you can either @reference someone, or you can just put your question in. We will make sure we get those answered. And then everything from what you've seen today, including the recording, if you can just give us a bit of time to edit it, we will share that out on the community, and you will get a thank you email if it's not today, tomorrow, with all the details that we've shared today, and including the configuration guide again. So multiple opportunities to get those if you haven't received them, but do let me know if you want it. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to go into the Q&A now. Everyone has got the ability to speak with us live. So if we do come to one of your questions and you want to speak to us, please come off mute. Otherwise, just keep putting your chats in there. I think, Pandy, I can see there is a question from you. Your question that you've got was just saying live chat summarization, please advise whether what we need to configure to enable GPT our end. I don't know, Pandy, if you want to come off mute. Okay. Rod, the question that's in the Q&A, I think Pandy's having issues talking to us, so hopefully he might be able to reply back if we need any more information. But the question to the team as well is live chat summarization. I think, Riddy, you're answering this. Please advise whether or what we need to configure to enable in GPT end. So, Riddy, do you want to pick that one?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Pandy. You're able to hear us?
I think he's struggling, Riddy. So maybe if you want to try and answer it, and then he can confirm that he understands what you've said.
Yeah, I wanted to understand the live chat summarization context more in detail. So,
okay. What, Andy, if you can give us a bit more information, Riddy, is there something specific that you need? If you can just, I think he can hear us. He just can't come off mute. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit slightly unclear what the question means. We do a lot of summarization. we can get summaries through by chatting live to our agent. So it's not quite clear what's meant by the question.
Okay, so Pandy, if you could give us a bit more detail and we'll come back to your question. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? I know those that have asked for the guide, I'll be sending it to you, no problem. Don't think we have any other questions at the moment.
Oh, someone said it wasn't delayed for them in Australia. Oh, that's nice.
It is, and it's technically an APAC session, so we can't complain on that one, can we?
Feel a bit better now.
Let's see what we got. Okay, so Pandy said, I am not able to edit the skill data editor to seed data. Yes. Does that make any more clearer? And getting the error skill summarization skill is seed data. Seed data cannot be updated or deleted.
No, you have to copy the out of the box skill. You cannot enable the seed data for the out of the skill available. So you have to replicate that skill, and then you have to attach or link the agent. You don't need to do anything with the seed data.
Yeah, that's what we were showing today, right, Riddy?
Yeah.
That we were basically copying four skills that were delivered with seed data, and we're creating our own version. So if you're getting errors saying you can't update something, or that it's a conflict with the ID, that means you're trying to create a duplicate with the same name, or you're not updating a copy, you're updating the original. We don't want you updating the stuff that we provide. It's like it's like using Dev Studio and overlays. We keep a copy for you to base your work on. We don't want you
just have to copy the out of the box skill, and nothing to do with the seed data, with the copied one or the out of the box one.
Andy, if you can just confirm that answers your question, that would be great.
So also on his previous question about chat summaries, I have provided some URL. So please go through it. If this is not what you are looking for, then as Riddy has mentioned, just elaborate and we'll come back to you.
So should we toggle on a seed data config in the model when we want to create the new model?
Do you want me to show it?
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, in here. We haven't done them. You mean the models itself, or what do you mean, Rudy? Adding a new skill?
Yeah, when you are adding the model. So go to the Innovation Studio. Yeah.
In here. You're talking about the model section for configuration.
The record definition. Yeah, record definition.
Okay. Yeah. You're talking about AI service providers. Is this what you mean?
Yeah.
No. Go back to the Innovation Studio.
Yep. Okay.
Workspace.
Innovation Studio. Yeah. Workspace.
No, I think we don't see that screen, Rod.
Yeah, we still see the HelixGPT Agent Studio.
Yeah. Okay. It's changed. It's
Yeah,
delayed.
now.
Yeah. Delayed to India as well as the UK. Okay. So, yep. You want me to go to HelixGPT's Agent Studio or ITSM? Just here? Yep. All right, I'll wait. So I've got the records that are in GPT Agent Studio coming up.
Model, go to the model.
You're talking about the form called model? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, it's coming up.
Not sure if they are referring this record type.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Just a sec. I'll give you the data that's in model. Edit data in model. Yep. See a long list now?
It's very slow for me.
I think you're on the other side of the world, really, aren't you?
So if you see that model over here, which we have just created during the exercise.
Hang on, let's do it let's sort. There's one created recently, 1402. This one?
Yeah, I wanted to understand if
that's the same data.
Scroll down.
Yeah. Okay. That's the same data that's in the config area.
Yeah, I think, they're referring over here. Seed data, you see?
Oh, seed data. Okay.
Yeah. You don't need to do anything. Yeah.
Whether this tells you whether it's seed data or not.
Yes.
So if it's not seeded, then you can edit it.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess that's true of lots of things. Okay. So if you do it normally, it's a setting. It's not something you can adjust if you go to the actual setting. Is that what you were trying to show?
Yeah.
So if you do it from here.
Yeah. So they don't need to touch the model from over here. So when they configure the model from the AI connections, that's it. So you don't need to explicitly mention or the toggle the seed data on or off.
So just looking here.
Okay.
I think this is the one we've been using here. This is probably is this a seeded one? So you can't change it?
Is it okay to have a multiple application configured? Where you are looking to configure the multiple applications?
Or the question could be what do you mean by configuring multiple applications?
Yeah, where they would like to configure the multiple application.
Yeah, these are skills for this. We provide information for specific use cases inside ITSM. Okay. We're just waiting to find out about the multiple applications, are we?
Yeah, maybe on that, if when you say applications, if it is referring to if you can create multiple AI service provider, you may have like Microsoft Azure and Google Vertex both, but you can configure that, but make sure whatever you have configured, you use that specific AI provider in when you're configuring your Service Collaborator agent. So then it would be consistent and it would give the necessary results. If that is not what you're referring to, then we will need to know more.
Yeah, so you're saying, Suren, we can have multiple
So let's say somebody
MMLs,
has
well,
two
LLMs, I
AI
should say.
service, exactly, two service providers like Google and Microsoft Azure both. Then you can, yes, you can use any one of it and make sure that when you are configuring your any of the agent, it can be Service Collaborator or any agent, whatever you have configured and the test connection is successful, use that while configuring Service Collaborator or any of the agent.
I think there's the ability to change the filters when it's searching for data, and also when it's providing, it's providing the data to be used for the skill.
Yeah,
I think
other
that might be the
aspect
context of the question.
yeah, probably that can you use ITSM and BWF as well?
Yeah,
That can also be the aspect of it. You can.
Yeah, it's built for BWF. We're not showing BWF today, but
Yeah.
those agents can work in, or the skills can work against BWF data. So yes, multiple applications.
Yeah.
We've got that, and you could do your own, in fact, if you knew what you were doing.
So if you refer to the configuration guide along with ITSM as a knowledge source, it also shows how you can configure BWF knowledge source. So you can use that config guide and configure for ITSM as well as BWF.
I did have the documentation.
Yeah, the documentation has this, but maybe if you want to show it here, you can go to data sources and show that.
Yeah, so for the BMC Helix business workflow, you have to create a new record and value to be entered as a BWF. For the BMC Helix knowledge management by Comaround, you have to value to be entered is HKM. BMC Helix ITSM knowledge management, it should be the RKM. Confluence, it should be the CNF. SharePoint, it should be the SPT. For the web, it should be the web. And customer service management, it should be the CSM. So there is a list available at the BMC document if you find it or search it with the data ingestion for the HelixGPT.
Yeah, so here's our list. Everyone see my screen now? There's a list of applications we've got agents for. And you can see that I've picked business workflows, and there's a whole lot of seed skills there for that, covering various use cases. Yeah, outside of today's context, if that's what the question was about. I think the skills only work off one of our applications. Different skills for each of the different applications. I'm sure we'll have more use cases in future, but no promises. I'm still amazed what LLMs can actually do.
Yeah, addition to that, if you are looking for a one-on-one session for the configuration of the Service Collaborator, please reach out to your CSM, and if the CSM is not aligned or assigned, please send out an email to success@bmc.com. We would be happy to assist you in configuring the Service Collaborator for you.
We've also got the community page as well. Plus, if you have filled in the polls, there are those questions asking if you want extra help. So if you do, please fill it in and let us know, and I will pass that on to the wider customer success team, so they'll reach out to you as well.